WLW Radio, the home of Cincinnati Royals basketball. And this is Ed Kennedy, your play-by-play commentator, inviting you to join us tonight on this station for the NBA game between the Royals and the Detroit Pistons. Charlie Wolf, now coaching the Pistons, will be bringing in a squad of All-Americans, led by Bailey Howell. We'll be at the mic and hope you'll be at your radio tuned to WLW.
Time is 8:30 tonight on WLW Radio Cincinnati. It's now 10 o'clock a.m.
NBC Radio, News on the Hour, brought to you by Bayer Aspirin for fast relief from headache, muscular pains, or fever of a cold. Now here is Russ Ward, NBC News.
President Kennedy, in his second day of speech-making in Texas, is defending the TFX warplane as a powerful force of freedom. We'll have a report from Texas coming up. South Vietnam's Revolutionary Council has dismissed 31 high-ranking military officers for an indefinite period while investigations are made into their activities during the Diem regime. French officials are quoted today as saying the de Gaulle government would give sympathetic consideration to economic and military aid for Cambodia. Cambodian Prince Norodom Sihanouk reportedly has said France is the most capable power to represent the Western world in that part of Asia. There has been no official request for help, however. 9 South Koreans have been killed and 9 others injured as they were gathering scrap metal on a U.S. firing range north of Seoul. The victims died when an Honest John rocket landed in the area. An Army spokesman said the South Koreans had been warned of danger on the firing range, that they were trespassing when the tragedy occurred. By a margin of more than 100-1, delegates to the Roman Catholic Ecumenical Council have given final approval to the use of modern languages instead of Latin in most forms of church worship. This is the first definitive action by the Council. That report on the President and other news after this from Bayer Aspirin.
Did you know that the average American has 3 or more colds a year? If you should come down with the pains or fever of a cold or flu during this cold and flu season, remember this. To feel better fast, Bayer Aspirin is the kind of pain reliever doctors recommend. Reporting on a government-financed study of 5 leading pain relievers, an article in the Journal of the American Medical Association showed that Bayer Aspirin was unsurpassed by any of them for speed and strength of relief. The report also showed that Bayer Aspirin was as gentle to the stomach as any product tested, including the higher-priced Buffered product. On the other hand, the 2 combination of ingredients products tested upset the stomach considerably more often. So for fast, strong relief from the pains and fever of a cold or flu, and especially if certain combination of ingredients products upset your stomach, try Bayer Aspirin.
For your youngsters, get Bayer Aspirin for children with its new orange flavor.
Here again, Russ Ward.
President Kennedy has opened the second day of his political swing through Texas. The story from NBC's Robert McNeil with the presidential party in Fort Worth.
President Kennedy is beginning the day with a defense of the controversial TFX fighter plane. He's telling a breakfast audience in Fort Worth right now that there's been a good deal of discussion of the competition to win the TFX contract, but relatively little discussion of what this revolutionary plane will do. The president has also just spoken to a crowd of several thousand standing outside in the rain. He's now preparing to move on to Dallas for a major lunchtime speech on the theme of American strength. Police in Dallas have mounted the biggest security operation in their history to prevent any repetition of the demonstrations which marked the visit of UN Ambassador Adlai Stevenson last month. Although Texas newspapers are much preoccupied with Democratic Party feuding behind the glamour of the occasion, it has not detracted from the Kennedys' popular success. Robert McNeil, NBC News, with the presidential party in Fort Worth.
French President de Gaulle and West Germany's new Chancellor Erhard have ended 2 days of talks in Paris with a reaffirmation of the French-West German Treaty of Cooperation signed last January. The 2 men called for, quote, all necessary efforts to solve the problems of the European common market. No progress was reported on questions of nuclear defense for Western Europe. Today, incidentally, is the 73rd birthday of President de Gaulle. He has asked that there be no public ceremony. Another birthday of note, John Nance Garner, 95 today. He's being honored in his hometown of Uvalde, Texas, with a farm and ranch show. Russ Ward, NBC News, Washington.
Now's a good time to see your Chevrolet dealer and ask about a Smile Mile. He's proudly displaying 5 entirely different kinds of exciting new cars for '64. Corvair, Corvette, Chevy 2, Chevelle, and Chevrolet. And don't forget to ask about the Chevrolet Songbook with the words to more than 100 of the great old favorites. Come in soon. Ask your Chevrolet dealer about the Chevrolet Songbook and ask about a Smile Mile.
This has been NBC News on the Hour. Listen again on the hour for NBC Radio News, brought to you by Chevrolet, for Chevrolet dealers everywhere. James Daly is one of Monitor's weekend hosts on the NBC Radio Network.